There we are. Well, hello. Good morning, everybody. Everybody, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to everybody. What's a man got to do? What's a man got to do? It's one of them in my head. Keep singing it. I keep saying to him, I do. I keep saying I should be on a voice. What's a man got to do? What's a man got to do? Hello, Danielle. Hello, Soundwave Man. Hello, Ron. Nice to see everybody. CJF, Dave. Hello, Dave. Hey. Matt C, Angela, hello. Hello, hello. We're sort of piling in. Look at that, look, numbers going straight up there. Georgie Hughes, hello, George. Nice to see you. So we're popping in. Hello, Rebecca. Butch still ill then? Yeah, he is, yeah. And I was a bit late this morning because I was just taking my time. Didn't realise the time. And Logan said, oi, you're supposed to be on. I'm assuming the bot is on. I have no idea. And remember, I don't know how it works or anything. So if you have any issues with it, you'll have to wait and see, Butch. How is everybody today? Good? Hello, Andy. Hope he just has the flu, not the virus. Yeah, me too. You know, he's been touching a lot of coins, hasn't he? I hope he's been washing his hands and using gloves. Hello, Lorna. I saw your message, but I was literally just going on at the time. Marco. Hello, Marco. Chris. Nice to see you, Chris. So we've got a few people in. Look at that. Nice, nice, nice. I don't know what I'm going to talk about this morning. You just got another. Hello, Nanny. I haven't spoke to him this morning, Nanny, but he's still poorly. He was quite poorly yesterday, and if I haven't spoken to him already, that means he's poorly today. That's why I've just come straight on the YouTube thing as opposed to the StreamYards. 50p's uncirculated condition. What about them, Matt? I feel a question coming. what's the question? What are you going to hit me with as soon as I come online? Quiet? What? Am I quiet? I don't know why it's... don't know why that would be. What about them, Matt, anyway? Uncirculated coins. You're going to say, oh, I can't find any on the site. That's what you're going to say, isn't it? You know, remember we're having huge overhauls, and we have just lost a member of staff, remember? Yeah, I will do, Nanny. And so whatever work we were doing is now on the people that are left. So, you know, we're one person down. And that means you've got 30 or 40 hours a week that that you've lost, work that's just gone. So it's now going to take us a bit longer to catch up. But I'm not despondent about the whole thing. I actually think things are going to be okay now. I feel like we've gone down, we've hit rock bottom. Oh, I love you, Logan. Morning, Mr. Glenn. And the raw mint, bit subliminal. So losing that kind of work, you know, quite upsetting, quite and all that, but I have to move on. You know, I've got to get up in the morning, the world keeps turning, sun's going to come up, the moon's going to come out tonight, nothing I can do about that. You know, tomorrow morning I'm going to get up again and I've got to start tomorrow off, whatever I get hit with. So yes, it is a big downer losing somebody, and therefore there's work there that I now can't get done. Hello, Belfast. Um, so uh, it just makes it a little bit more difficult. However, you know, like I say, I do believe that, you know, we've hit rock bottom, and I think now losing Kelly is us hitting rock bottom. That is about as low as we could go. Don't think so, Mick. No, I haven't heard from Butch, so therefore I imagine he's probably like sleeping it off. Yeah, so I think we've hit rock bottom, and the point of hitting rock bottom, wallop, was losing Kelly. Now I think we're going to be straightening out a bit, and I feel that we're going to start a slight incline. You know, and I've got to focus on that. I can't focus too much on what's happened. You don't focus on yesterday, apart from learning by it. You just got to move on. So that's why, you know, some of the things that you want ain't going to be there and stuff, and that's going to go on for a little while until I can get on top of it and get things listed. We've got 15,000 listings on the site. 15,000. That's why when people email me and they say there's nothing to buy, I think, well, really, there's 15,000 listings, you know, and some of those listings are multi-variation, obviously, on years. But there's about 1,000 listings where we've got items out of stock, you know, things like that. So there's lots of stuff that's got to be cleared up, restarted again, deleted, started all over again, that kind of thing. But we will get there, bit by bit. All I can say is, and this is not a disrespectful sort of statement to make, but I'm not meaning to be disrespectful to my customers, as it were. But all I can say is, if people want particular items and they're not on my site, then you're just going to have to go and have a look on eBay or look on Change Checker or look on a Raw Mint. You know, I'm put up with that for now because there's nothing I can do about it. But I will get, all right, Matt, have a nice walk, but I will get more and more sorted. So I was going to show you something. Yes. So, are you watching, Simon? And Soundwave Man? Right, I'm going to show you something on my phone. Now remember, we're just doing it on my iPad today. Right. So, let's press that. Right, now are you watching? Now I joined a load, I made 2 accounts yesterday. Look over there, look. That's the profile, that's Casper. So I made an account, some of you got friend requests. So I made an account for Casper the Wolf, and I called it Casper Wolf. And then I made an account for Hector, which was my previous dog, and called it Hector Wolf. Hector, by the way, had a Twitter account. He's got a Twitter account, Hector the Wolf. And Hector was the one who started off hashtag Waggytail, by the way, which I'm quite, you know, thingy about. But anyway, I opened these 2 accounts yesterday. And on this one, I've already joined over 50 groups. There's about 56 groups here I've joined. Look at that. And what I do is, I'll have my page open like this. And then that'll be it, you know, and I've done a share like that, and then I'll leave it. And then I'll leave it a bit, and I'll leave it a couple of minutes, and then I shared it again, and then I left it a couple of minutes, and then I shared it again. And I did that yesterday. We opened up the 2 accounts, and I kept doing that between the 2 accounts. I went onto one account, and I went and joined about half a dozen groups, not too many, and put photographs up and shared the videos I wanted. The videos I knew I wanted to share, I went and shared them onto Casper's profile, right, page. So share it onto his personal profile page, so now I know where they are and easily go and get them. because I'm not doing anything else with that account, so I know exactly what's on there. So I know to, you know, share it over to the profile, go onto the profile, and the only videos on the profile are the ones, or the posts are the ones that I've put there. So I can easily find a few, right? And then, so I've joined half a dozen groups, and then there's going to be a lot of people copy this information, you know. I mean, I've only just started on Facebook, really, now, learning about it, and already what I've found out is mental. So, half a dozen groups, and then I logged out, and I went on to Hector's one. And I shared it to another half a dozen groups. I joined half a dozen groups under Hector. And then I went back to Casper, and then I shared to the groups that I'd already joined. Then I went back to, logged out, and I went back to Hector, and I just shared to the groups I'd already joined. Then I went back to Casper, and I joined some more groups. Thank you, Casper. Hey, Casper. Here. Casper. Here. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. It's because Logan's out picking orders and there wasn't anybody downstairs. So where was I? So yeah, so I did it that small. Right, I did it that small. So then I went back to the other one and I joined a few more groups. So now, when I go back to the first one and I join a few more groups, there's no point going to the video I shared previously, because then I'll be sharing it to the same groups again. So I just picked a different video. And this time now there's more groups, and I shared that video. And then I logged into Hector, did the same thing, joined a few more groups, not too many, half a dozen at a time. And even then I didn't go click, 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 click. I would join a group, join another one, leave it a bit, watch a bit of telly, do a bit of work, whatever I was doing at the time. Then go back to it, join another one, leave it a bit, go back to it, join another one. So it's not all too quick, and therefore being picked up by their software and their spiders and all of that, you know, their algorithms and everything. And so I just did that between the two of them, and since last night on the Casper one I've joined over 55 groups. I don't know how many it is on the Hector one. And as you see there, on that one I did free advertising. Now, there are some tasty little search things that you can do, right? So you search Facebook for free advertising. Search Facebook for advertise anything. Search for anything goes. And you see where I'm going with that. So we've got free advertising, advertise anything, anything goes, free speech, have your say what you like, and no rules. All those kinds of search terms, anything related to any of those search terms, right? Anything at all related to any of those search terms. And so when you're on a category, if you was doing the homeless category, then you could do homeless, sleeping rough, skin, you know, and all of these things, there are groups for them. There are millions of groups, millions and millions of groups. And a lot of these groups have got a lot of high members. So the other thing, now I know that we're limited on the amount of groups to join and everything else. What makes sense is when you're doing your search is that you only pick the ones that have got thousands of members in, not the ones that have got less than 100 or a couple of hundred. I've started ignoring the ones now If they've got less than 1,000 in it, I've been ignoring them and only going for the ones over 1,000. And sometimes you can do a search term and they're like 70,000, 60,000, 100,000 and all of that. Now these groups are accepting any kind of posts, adverts, all the rest of it like that. And there's no restrictions on it. The only restrictions are that you don't spam. Now the difference between what we're doing and spam is that if you were spamming, you would be putting the same post over and over and over again in the same groups, over and over and over again, same post, same post, same post, same post, same post. Whereas we don't need to do that because we've got so many videos, and in the VIP Supporters Club, you've only got to ask me for the updated list of videos or posts that I want reposted, and I'll give you a list of like a dozen or 6 or 10 or whatever, you know, and you can do one at a time. So, so that's how I've been doing it, and by doing it that way, you know, I'm still sharing now as I'm talking to you. I'm just guessing. A few minutes have gone past. I've got the clock up here. A couple of minutes have gone past, so I will just hit the button and share again until I've done the entire list. Then when I've done the entire list, I'll go and join a couple of groups. Only a couple, because we're now up to the 40s and 50s, so I don't want to get blocked. So I'll just go and join a couple more groups, and then I'll log out of here and log back into Hector. And then I'll do the same thing. Probably not the same video, I'll do a different video, because a lot of these are the same groups. So I'll just pick a different post and I'll reshare that. And I've been doing that since yesterday, in between working and in between watching TV. And I can honestly say that I've done enough posting since yesterday to leave another 4 comments. I haven't left those 4 comments because you're going to go, nah, this ain't, you ain't, you know, can't be Ian and all the rest of it. So I have done enough sharing to leave another 4 comments. And the thing about this competition is you are playing against me. All of you are playing against me, because if I can do it with my heavy workload and, you know, the little bit of spare time I've got, just by keeping it on the phone, brushing my teeth. When I finish brushing my teeth, I hit the button. You know, I'm not suggesting everybody else does that, but what I'm saying is, it's there and it's open on my phone like you saw it. And the only thing that you've got to remember is that you don't click it off the page, because if you click it off, then when you go back on it, they'll all be blue again and you won't know where you got up to. So I just keep it on there like that, and then every now and again, you know, 2 or 3 minutes have passed, and then I will just share it again, as you saw me do. And so far, I've done a couple of 100, and it hasn't restricted me yet. So by taking time and spreading it over and not going bang, 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 bang like I originally told you to do, which is me telling you wrong. Obviously, you know, I have found that I could go on it and just hit say 5. I go share, share, posted, share, posted, share, posted, and I did 5, and then I went right, stop there, now do one every couple of minutes. Yeah, so I've been doing it like that. So any questions over that, and I can answer you. And now I know. Now, why am I doing all that? Well, I'm pushing the limits on what I can do and share, etc. So you don't have to. It's better I get my accounts blocked than you get your accounts blocked. We don't want that. So that's why I'm pushing. But you don't have to push as hard as I'm pushing. You know, just listen to what I'm saying about how I'm doing it, and then follow suit. And all sorts of people will be copying this idea, because now I've explained it in layman's terms. If you set this up right, any person, if you set it up right, you could, over a period of say, 3 months, you could join 500 groups. And then your own page, you want attention to that page, that post, you just go through those groups one at a time every few minutes and do what I'm doing, hit the button, share, then do the next one. hit the button share every few minutes. And you could end up getting thousands of hits to your page. We got one the other day, the coronavirus live ended up with 20,000 hits because I sat there and I shared it. And I shared it about 50 times. And it ended up getting something like 20,000 hits. Last night we had the live coronavirus on Facebook with nearly 60 watchers at one point, all live. So that's how it works. teespring.com/no288. Ain't got as much as the chocolate boy says, Butch, have I? Posted. And I found that when you do it, when you hit the button and you share it, and it goes, and it comes up in blue at the top, and it goes posting, then another one, posted, right? Now, if you get one come up that says, we'll let you know when your post is ready, I'll leave it alone now. I'll leave it alone an extra 10 minutes now, once I see that, or switch over onto the other account, because I just think that might be a warning as to, like, you know, if you carry on, you might get blocked, so then switch to the other account. And that's a good thing about having a couple of accounts. A lot of people do it, it's not wrong to do it. A lot of people do it for competitions. Hello, Ian. A lot of people do it for competitions and things like that because they don't want to share this stuff on their normal profile where all their friends are going to see it. You know, competition for fairy liquid, competition for this, competition for a car, competition for a push bike, and all this stuff. So people often open more than one account to do it. People do the same thing on Twitter, have done for years. People open accounts in the name of their business. They'll have an actual Facebook account in the name of their business instead of a Facebook page. You know, all connotations always round. So if you've got a budgie, and you know, and the only thing you need in order to open extra accounts is extra email addresses. And if you haven't got any and you don't know how to get one, you just go on to Hotmail, Outlook, Gmail, and open a new one. They're all free. And you can have an account in the name of the budgie, put some photographs up. You know, if you're going to use your pets, send Hector and Casper a friend request, and we'll friend request each other. You know, so you can use your budgie, your cat, your dog. It don't really matter. You know, you could make a profile in the name of a cup. Do you know what I mean? You could make the first name No2, and then the second name 288. That's just ridiculous, but you get the point, you get the drift. And when I've got to the end of this one, hopefully on this stream, because it's every few minutes I'm sharing it, I'm going to show you how easy it is to switch accounts on my mobile. Because then when you go to log out, on my phone, on my iPad, when I go to log out the first time, after I've been in there the first time, it says to me, a thing comes up and says, do you want to save it? So I click yes. So now I open up the Facebook app, and now I've got 4 logos. So we've got Georgie Bandito, we've got Ian Lambert, we've got Casper, we've got Hector. And then I just click on one of those logos and I'm into that account. Log out, switch accounts. And that's how it works for me. Hello, David. That's how it works for me on that one. Yeah, other things aren't going to be happening whilst Butch is in. And I did say yesterday that while Butch is off, because we're not having those rollover draws, I'll add another 1,000 points to all the draws across the board. Pardon me. Pardon me. I've never had so much indigestion as I've had since I had my operation. So yeah, so there's not going to be the giveaways and stuff that we normally do, or the auctions and all that sort of stuff. We'll give it all a rest, and you'll just have to put up with me shirting. Are we talking spirits today? Well, the thing is, we can talk about anything you want. Don't get me started on all the ghosts and goblins again. You know, mean, see that Angela yesterday tried to stir it up a bit, didn't she? Did you notice her comment yesterday? She slipped in there about, you know, the Flat Earth Society and all the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? One of these people, Angela's one of these people that sort of, off her trolley a bit, thinks the world's a bit round. There's a lot of people like that. They think the world's ball. Don't get it myself. You know, it's obvious to anyone that if you walk, you know, if you walk far enough, you fall off the edge. So don't walk to the edge. Do you know what I mean? So, and I got my Flat Earth Society badge. Proud of it and all. See, it was what's his chops' idea, wasn't it? He messed it all up. What's his name? That one who went off Columbus. He's the one who started all this business about it being round. Well, that's all right, David. Tell us what time you're doing it then, and then maybe some people can pop along if they're on. You know, because they're going to be sitting there thinking, well, you've just told us you're doing it tonight with Hannah and Scott and Steve, but you ain't said what time. Yeah, coming in, you know you want to talk about it. How do you know my thoughts? Yeah, see, wind up. See, you know, we all know the world's flat, and you're just trying to wind me up a little bit. That's all. And I'm not going to fall for it, because I know, see, sensibilities, logic. I mean, you know, you've got to be on something. You can't be on nothing, can you? You know, you can't go, oh, that's the world spinning and there's nothing underneath it. It'll drop, won't it? It'll go like that. You know what I mean? So it's daft, isn't it? You know. So obviously, it's flat. We're on a flat surface, hard surface. There's a lot of weight around. I mean, look at the weight of all these houses and trees and cars and concrete and dirt and all the rest of it, you know, and how deep it all goes. It's a lot of weight, isn't it? You know, if that was just like that, it'd just, do you know what I mean? Get a grip. Get a grip. Sort yourself out. Some people believe we're on the back of a turtle. Yeah, see, I mean, you know, now you're getting silly. Do you know what I mean? People that think we're living on the back of a turtle, I don't even know where the turtle comes into it. Where's a turtle come into it anyway? Might as well say we live on the back of a donkey. I mean, I don't understand where a turtle ever came into it. You know? It's just like the same business. I don't understand where this business of all around comes into it. You know, you've got all the water as well, right? All the water, it would just, you know, it'd just fall off, wouldn't it? At the end of the day. Whereas, see, if you're on a flat surface, see, the water, it don't fall off. Well, unless you're at the end. But then at the end, you've probably got full stop things. So you've got a wall at the end to stop it falling off. Stop the water from falling off. My live will be around 7. Okie dokie. Tell them we said hello. That's it. Make sure you tell them we said hello. Share. Ping. Oh. See, oh, you missed it. So it came up, it said, we'll let you know when your post is ready. So now I'm going to log out. Because I don't trust it. Right? I don't trust it one little bit. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do now. Here we go. Right. So I've just gone to post, and it went up, and it said, "We'll let you know when your post is ready." So the one thing you've got to be careful of is if you posted. So I've done all of them, right? And then all of a sudden it's gone, we'll let you know when it's posted. And I don't know if that's going to be ready to knock me off or not, but I'm not going to take any chances. Right? Now, if you knock this off, Watch this. Oh, you've knocked it off. Right, because it's so easy to do that. So now you go, oh, it doesn't matter, I'll just go back to where I was. Where's the share button gone? Oh, right, there's the share button. So if we hit the share button and then go share the group, you come up with that, see? But now you don't know, oh no, I've knocked it off, now I don't know where I got up to. So you've got to be really careful you don't knock that bit off when you're doing it this way. Because that's a nightmare. You know, the minute you knock that off, you've lost them all. Whereas once you're doing it this way, you know, then if you share one like that, oh, it posted it, right, and you can see it's gone grey. But the minute you come off it and then go back on it again, it goes back to blue and you forget where you got up to. Do you see what I mean? So it's this easy, right, to sign out. Watch this. Log out, log out. And there we go back to there. So you make up another account and then you just, once you've made another account up on a computer, log into another account. So where was I? I was in Casper, wasn't I? So now we'll go to Hector. There we go. We're straight in Hector. 9 notifications, all these things here. People send you likes, just, they recommend it. Right, so there's the notifications, and then we go back to, you know, I might go, right, so we'll go, so with Hector it was free advertising, and with the other one I did advertise anything. You can see which ones you belong to. Oh, groups. Now the ones with a tick and the blue, I think the tick are the ones you belong to, and the blue ones are the ones you've applied to. So you see all the ticks, and then you see others, look, and you think, oh, I ain't done that one. Do you live in the UK? Right, and you can go, I've obviously gone past them before. And then down there, related, free advertising online. So there's all sorts of different South Africa free advertising sites. Do that. Then click public groups. Oops. Free state small business advertising. Yeah, we'll have some of that. What is your business? I like sharing. Because it's not Hector's business, is it? Travel and tourism. Sorry, there was an error joining. Did you see that? Sorry, there was an error joining the group. I'm leaving it alone now. Make sure you give Chris Dyer a little sub. See, so that's how I was doing it. This accessory not supported by this device. I wonder what that was. That's how I was doing it. So now I'll leave that alone a little bit because I've been hammering all 4 accounts. Maybe the Bermuda Triangle is the edge, considering people go missing there. No, it's got nothing to do with that. That's the aliens, that is. That's the aliens, because they've got a big ship underneath the sea, down on the seabed, which looks like it's just a seabed. And then every now and again they come up, and you know, ships and planes, they all go missing. They go down there, sunk to the bottom of the ocean, for research. You know, it's not too far actually from where Atlantis ended up. Quite in close place, they are quite closely related. You know, so you got the two communities together going on down under there, and of course they get on all right with each other because they're both, you know, both of them don't want to be seen by people up here. Don't blame them really, do you? So yeah, that's the thing about the Bermuda Triangle. So you got to get into all these things. You got to know what's going on. Conspiracies. I mean, the conspiracy of 288 Group and the Royal Mint. It's like the conspiracy of aliens, isn't it? Except that if you manage to catch the aliens with their pants down, they're more likely to have the common sense to go, okay, you got me. Whereas 288 and the Royal Mint, even though they're caught with their pants down and they've been photographed doing so, as such, metaphorically speaking, they're still going, I wasn't there, it wasn't me. You know. So in that respect, you've got to give aliens more credit than you can the Royal Mint and 288 Group. Know what I mean, Ian? What we're going to move on to then? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing today. Angela, I do not believe you. I do not believe you. Ian Glenn from the Planet Greed. Good one. Yes. Yes. It's my birthday today. I've got the State and Park Quarter collector albums and 10 quarters to start it off. Well done, Andy. Happy birthday. There should be a fiver in your account by the end of the day. It's normally done within 24 hours. It'll be there, and then you've got a little something. So you've got the best poker face. I used to play poker. I was very good at poker. I was very bad at one thing, which just happens to be the most important thing in poker. The poker face I got right, knowing the game, understanding the game, reading the body language of the players, all that. Can do all of that. I'm a good poker player. Apart from just one tinsy wincy little rule of poker playing. As it says in the song, you've got to know when to hold them, and you've got to know when to fold them, and you've got to know when to walk away, and you've got to know when to run. And I just never knew when to walk away. You know, so time after time after time, I would nearly clear the table, and then because I haven't got the sense, the common sense to just go, you know, that bloke's only got 30 quid left, I'm the one sitting here with all the money, I might as well just finish now. No, I've got to keep going and keep going because he wants to keep playing, and that fairness thing, I'll give you a chance to win a bit of your money back. Shouldn't do that in gambling. You know, you gamble, you gamble. Take it, thank you. Don't give anybody a chance to win the money back. But I didn't learn that when I was a youngster. So my biggest problem was not being able to get up and walk away when I'd won. However much that might be, you know, a couple of £100, couple of grand, whatever. I just sat there and played and played and played and played, and then ended up losing whatever it is I won. You know, so it's a very, very, very tiny, tiny, tiny important bit of the poker playing. But if you don't get that right, you're a bit knackered. That's it, the Kenny Rogers song. Kenny Rogers. I did that one. Now, if we coordinate things right with these sharings and so on, we can even get to a point where, you know, I mean, at the moment, everybody's just sort of, you're sucking it and you're seeing and you're finding your feet with it, and you're finding out what you can do and what you can't do. You know, I've been blocked, there's a couple of you have been blocked. Somebody got blocked yesterday. Fortunately, when you get blocked, you only get blocked for like a few days or a week, max. You know, but then that just means, okay, you've got to take it a little bit steadier. You know, if you do too many joining groups in one go, then you'll get blocked. I mean, if you do too many postings and sharings to groups, you'll get blocked. But I have found every 2 or 3 minutes allows you to sort of do probably 50 shares or whatever a day, you know, or more. I mean, I did 250 on Sunday, I think it was, or more, a couple of hundred yesterday. So, you know, they're not gonna, they're excessive use and you end up getting blocked, but they're not going to want to block everybody in one sense, because they want people to use the Facebook, don't they? They want people to use the site. So as long as you keep within the parameters of the software, whatever that software is, and the invisible parameters are, then we're all right, as it were. Now this is the moment where I could go and have a Jimmy, but I can't, and I can't put an advert on. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. Oh, I haven't ticked off to say I've had my medication. So I've got to do that. So I had my medication this morning. Aspirin. Right, that's not done. What's that? Just checking a few messages. There you go. Right. Cool. So, you know, I'm even ready for a couple of questions or something. Oh, I don't know if I can concentrate. I'm going to have to go make yourself a cup of tea. If you need a, we'd all go and have one. I'm going to have one, and then I'll come back. That was necessary. Ooh. Right then. Why all the groups? Is it just for advertising? Right, George. So yeah, it is for advertising basically. It's a little idea I come up with, a little bit of a competition. So we have a video, and the video, if you go and look at our recent videos, we put it up last week or so, is a video called the VIP Supporters Club. And on that video, every day, apart from when Butch's not here, so, but normally, every day, we'll put 1,000 points for a winner on that one. And then every week, there's 25,000 points, so that's 250 quid, which doesn't get multiplied, by the way, by your Patreon membership. So I was originally going to make it 100 quid and let it be multiplied, but then I made it 250 quid, but not multiplied. So every time you've done 40 shares, at least 40 shares of one of our posts, and it's a post that we give you, so you have to be in the supporters club to be able to do this, which is our supporters club is on WhatsApp. So it's a little WhatsApp group, and you have to be in there, and then we tell you what post, we give you a list of the posts to share. So you have to do 40 shares, at least 40 shares, and then when you've shared it at least 40 times, you go to that video and you leave a comment. So every comment is an entry, and every comment means that that person has done at least 40 shares. I've done something like 7 or 8 comments this week, because I've done that many shares, and I did another 3 or 4 comments worth yesterday and this morning. I'll probably put another comment on later, but I won't do the other 4. I did 4, and which I could put on, but I won't. So just to show people how many can be done. And then if you do 6 comments, which means that you have shared 240 times at least in a week, then you'll get an extra bonus of 6,000 points. So that you have people like, for example, Soundwave Man's quite prolific in a lot of his comments on the other competition videos. Now, if he doesn't win, and other people that have been quite prolific don't win, then they're going to think, oh, done all that work. This way, if you go do loads of work like I have and put up 6 or 7 or 8 comments, and you've hit your 6, then you'll get an extra 6,000 points. Just to recognise the fact that you've done a bit of work. You know, but it's still worth 60 quid. And it is possible for someone to do that twice in a week, because I've shown that. I've done it myself. With the comments that are up there at the minute, and the ones I haven't put on, and the other one, yeah. So I've hit that myself, 12. 12 lots of 4, that's 480 shares I've done, 500 shares I've done, on my own. So if you've got 10 people doing that, if you had 10 people doing 500 shares, you're going to get 5,000 shares. And that means that sometimes the posts get more shares than they do views to start with, because it's just been gone. But that's that's one way of trying to get a post to go viral, is like pushing a snowball downhill. And sometimes that snowball will start and it will just keep going and pick up snow and pick up speed and pick up snow, and it won't stop, and it will all the way to the bottom, right, off like a rocket. And sometimes you get a snowball, chuck it down an hill, and it goes down and it stops. You've got to give it a bit more of a push. It goes down and it stops, and you've got to give it more of a push. Well, in the sort of thing of going viral, you know, we're doing that. We're like giving it a push, and then hoping it will catch, it will go, and then giving it another push and another push and another push until it all goes. Hello, John. One thing I think could be an issue with the bans, where you have posts pending admin acceptance. If they are rejected, the group could be reporting you. Quite right. So, you know, it's one of those things where you don't just do it blind. You know, don't just go off joining loads of groups and then posting mad, like, because that's sort of almost like spamming. Whereas you've got to try and organise it right. You know, so if you're gonna share the Ostomate video in a homeless or a sleeping rough group or a skint group, or, you know, a group, for example, that is not ostomy related, you know, I mean, in that particular one, you'd say, well, this guy was homeless, came from a homeless background, you know, which I did. I was homeless for a while. We were considered homeless for a little while. So there's all sorts of it along the message that you put in. But if you get a group that rejects your post, it will be in your notifications. So if I see in my notifications that a group has rejected the post, I straight away go into that group and I leave it, because I don't want to start peeving people off. If they're not going to accept the posts, then it would be a bit rude of me to continue posting into their group. So when someone chucks you out of a group, just, you know, or rejects if somebody rejects a post, then come out of that group, move on. You know, you can join 10, 20 groups a day without getting a ban, as long as you don't go join like that. You know, you've got to stagger it a bit. The more you stagger it, the more you can do. And set it up so that it's comfortable for you. The way I've got it is it's comfortable for me on the phone like that. I set it up on the phone as you saw me, get the share ready, share to a group, get the page up, and then that's it. Then I put my phone on the arm of the chair in the evening, and I sit there and I just hit the button share, and then turn the phone off, and then I'll wait few minutes, then I'll go back on it, hit the button share, and keep doing it that way. And it's surprising, you know, by the end of a few hours, you know, without realising it, you've done like 50 to 100 shares. You think, oh, that's handy. So that's that's how I do it. But Richard is quite right. You've got to be so careful. So you've got to watch all these things. So take notice of the things that I'm talking about, because I am using and abusing my accounts in order to make yours a little bit safer. You know? Hello, Mr. Beast. Thanks for popping in. So that is very important. Any other questions on that? This is a great time. While I've got nothing else to do but talk, this is a great time to sort of fire a few questions at me surrounding that. Especially for the people that are in it, or if you're thinking of coming into it, you know, what you might want to ask. Because we've got a few people that are in it here, and they will tell you. You know, they'll all give you honest answers as to how it's working. So if anybody's got any questions, now is a good time. What about when people delete your posts after a few days? I'd come out of that group and all, Rebecca. What's the point? Do you mean the VIP club? Yes, I do, George. Yeah, the same thing again. You know, if there is any negative at all, any negative connotation, any negative thoughts from anybody, come off. Don't do it. If you come out of the group, that way you ain't going to do it again. Move on. There are millions and billions of groups to belong to. Everything from free advertising to free classifieds to free speech, to have your say, to say anything, to talk about anything, to, you know, discuss anything. I mean, all these words, you know, talk about, discuss, advertise, anything. What about making a fake account of yours? I don't know what you mean. So you need to ask, you need to be a bit more specific. Okay. You need to be a bit more specific. So, you know, when you come back in, like, write the question so I can answer it, and then I will. Making another account is as easy as pie. I've made 3 in the last week, so I know it's easy. People do it all the time, make them in the names of their pets. I mean, say I've done 40 shares, and then the following day they delete some. Well, in a situation like that, Rebecca, who is Mr. Beast and why has he deleted his posts? That wasn't Mr. Beast deleting his posts, that was Lorna deleting his posts. We have no idea who Mr. Beast is, and Lorna thought he was a troll, so, you know, if he comes back in and he asks a question properly, then I'll answer it. So getting back to Rebecca's question, so the people that are in our VIP group, our VIP supporters club, are, let me see how I can say this. We have all learned, haven't we, over the last 6 months? We have learned an awful lot. We've learned a lot about life. We've learned a lot about business. We've learned an awful lot about people. And we've learned how people can react and change on one thing or another. What I can say is that everybody that is in the VIP club is trusted to do what they say they're doing. So in a case like that, Rebecca goes at home, she's at home and she's doing the thing, she's done her 40 shares, and as she says, a couple of them have been deleted. So do 44, do 43, do an extra few. I did 52, and then I went and did a comment and said I've done 40 shares, because I know in my mind, logically speaking, if I just happened to be in 52 groups, that's why it was 52 at that time on that account, and I knew that if I share this 52 times, it's going to appear on 40 of those groups. You know, logically speaking, mathematically, that's going to happen. So what I would say is, don't do exactly 40 and then leave a comment, and do exactly 40 and leave a comment, and exactly 40 and leave a comment, because you know, and I know already, that some of those will get deleted, some of them will be not allowed, and so on. So that's why it's better to have more groups, so that you can do a few more. So do a few more. And if you notice, oh, tomorrow, if you notice, oh, I've had 3 of my posts not allowed, then go and share it 3 more times, because you know that your 40 isn't right. And what I'm trying to say is, the people that are in this group, they're all trusted. Yes, everybody's going to be checked. It's not a carte blanche, oh, nobody checks anything. Every single person will be checked from time to time, even me. In fact, I was the first one checked, counted, and it was found that I was done about 3 short, so I had to remove my comment. So everybody will be checked from time to time, but you're just not going to be checked every single day, because nobody's got the time to do that. Now here's the thing, you might think, well, oh, somebody can come in the group then, they can keep leaving comments saying they've done 40 shares and they haven't. Maybe they'll leave 25 and they'll leave a comment to say they've done 40, and they'll try and cheat a bit, and so on. Yes, that can happen. That can absolutely happen. But what I guarantee you is, the minute somebody is caught cheating, they're gone. And not only will that person be gone for cheating, but the minute I throw somebody out of the group, everybody knows I've thrown that person out of the group. That's going to be embarrassing. Nobody wants that. So even if a person is sitting there thinking, oh, I can manipulate this, I can abuse this, I can really sort of, yeah, and I can do it so I don't have to do much work, and I can win the £250 or whatever the bonus pot is. Yes, it is possible somebody could do that, and it's possible that somebody could pull the wool over my eyes a little bit and get away with it a little bit. And they might even get a couple of 6,000 point payments out of it. However, they will get caught. And the moment they get caught, all of their points, no matter how many points they've got in their account, will all be deleted. They'll be zeroed. Because you're caught cheating once, it will be assumed that you are cheating over and over and over and over and over and over again. And you've cheated for months and months and months. When really, you might have only cheated that once. Tough. Don't cheat. Because I'm going to assume that you've been doing it. And I'm just going to chuck you out of the group, and I'm going to zero your points. And I might even ban you from shopping on our site. Now, all of that around somebody putting work and effort in to have me over and pull the wool over my eyes. So if somebody actually does that, then they deserve it. That's all I can say. Because what I feel I've got, is I feel I've got a nice, tight group. I've got a tight team. Our team is a tight team. Our team is a tight team. Everybody's got their bit to do, everybody plays their part, and they get on with it, and we don't cross over onto anybody else's work and all the rest of it, and it's working. It's great. And we're building a tight little VIP team to do this sharing, so that when we get this organised, and it's far from being properly organised now, but give it a few weeks and we will all know what we're doing. Rebecca and Ailey and everybody will all know what we're doing, and I'll be able to come on a stream and say to everybody, right, I want you to do this one, or we'll do the stream. Imagine having 20 of us we could do like 500 shares in a morning before the stream starts. So's that the Facebook side of it, we'd have a bit of attention on the Facebook stream. You know, the and you know, supposing at some point in the future somebody supposing at some point in the future there might be one of you that's got a post or something doing something, and then we could help you with that. You know, because I know some of you do like raffles and get involved with charity and one thing or other. And I don't know, you might do this raffle one day, you know, win a No to 288 group cup, you know, to raise money for cancer. I don't know. But whatever it is, you do the post, we're properly organised, we've got a tight little team and we're all organised. We can all get behind you. We can go, yeah, all right, let's do one for, you know, Rebecca and her raffle. And suddenly your post that would normally get 200 views and, you know, 6 comments and 14 likes has now suddenly got 50,000 views. You know, and you've actually done a bit of good with what you're doing. So I as well as business and as well as me getting out of trouble and one thing about, with what I'm doing, you know, again, I see the benefits of what can be done for good. I can see how, as we go along this journey, there will be times when we can use what we're doing without any cost to us whatsoever and do a bit of good with that. You know. So you want to join, dear George? Let's get you in then. We don't have that many people in this group because it's going to remain a personal group. Your videos. That is a terrible smile, Lambda. Oops, echo. There you go, George. So it's a WhatsApp group. So you click on that and that will take you straight into the group. And then what I will do is once I come off the stream, we can talk. And but in the meantime, there's no point us talking straight away when you come off the stream, because what you need to do now is go and join some groups. So when you come off the stream, just go and join a few groups. And if you want a category, use the categories that I've just been talking about this morning. I mean, there are so many of those groups, and they're so big that you could just do the connotations and variations of have your say free speech and free advertising, advertise free, and classifieds free and free classifieds, and you know, all that. 100 probably, but don't go and add too many. So go and do that and go and join some groups for a couple of hours this afternoon, and then come back when you know, I would join like maybe, well, you've heard how I said to join them, you know, take your time, go and join a couple, go and do something, join a few more, go and do something, join a few more, that kind of thing. Build your groups up slowly. I've put 55 in the Casper one within 24 hours, in less than 24 hours. I'm not saying you should do that, I'm just letting you know what I've done. Because like I say, I don't want people to get banned. I've got 2 people banned at the moment. That's 2 people that could be doing 40 shares a day, and they're both banned. So that's just cost me 400 shares, which has cost me about 20,000 views, because those people are banned. Because I didn't get it absolutely right for them, and they've followed what I've done and got banned. So be careful. So yeah, and if you know, and if you're looking at making a few accounts like I've done, George, then go off, make some accounts, do your profiles, put the pictures on, you know, stick a few friends in there, and then start joining groups. My advice is, if you're going to have separate Facebook accounts, then start defining your search categories. So put free advertising and all that kind of stuff in one account, and then think of another search term that's not going to cross over with that for another account, so that you're not posting the same things all the time. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I would do. I made a mistake, and a lot of the a lot of the groups I joined under Casper is the same groups under Hector. So you need to have separate categories for each account. Try and think of search terms that would work. You know, news, breaking news. There are so many breaking news groups, and we got a phone call this week off of the Daily Mail, specifically over a video that was seen on Facebook. So yeah, so that's how that works. That's what I think about that. Next question. Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh baby, oh baby, oh yeah, oh baby, oh baby, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh baby, oh yeah. Hit me. Or I'll start dancing and singing to you. And you don't want that. I picked out some stuff to be sort of auctioning off, but it's better if we wait for Butch to come back. I got an error 20p there. And I even found some fakes. I don't know what to do about them. So I've got them. I've got another coin that's looks like a £2 coin, but it ain't. That's quite nice. It looks like, you can't see the picture really, but it's thank you, Logan. Finland. It's almost the size of a £2 coin. Yeah. In fact, there's very little difference. It's the same planchet and everything. I reckon it's the same coin. I reckon it's exactly the same coin, £2 coin. Have you got the Armistice £2 that hasn't been stamped? No. No, that was one of the ones I ran out earlier of. That was difficult to get hold of. So I ain't got none of those yet. I will get more in, and I will get more tasty stuff in, and I will get more good coins in, and I will get more of the raw mint package coins in and things like that. But it's not going to be done in 5 minutes, unfortunately. We've sold nearly 20% now of the rawmint.tv, and I think nearly 20% of the rawmint.news. I have found an error halfpenny, 3 windows instead of 4. Anybody know what it would be worth? The thing about errors is it depends on how common the error is. So, for example, there are people that think per member on the remember Guy Fawkes is an error, and there are people that think it's not an error. The Raw Mint themselves say numismatists out there that say it's not an error because it happened to too many of them, and that's why it's not an error, as it were. So if you've got something that's just an error, if you've got something that's an error and therefore not many of them, then they become worth a lot of money. So if you've got an error there, and I would research that, Judith, because if you've got lots of them, it's like if you search Google for gunpowder plot per member, you're going to get loads come up in the search results. And the reason you're going to get loads in the search results is because loads of them have been made, and therefore loads of people have got them, and loads of people have visited them sale, and there's been lots of talk about them, and so on. Hence, you've got all of these pages made, right? So now if you go search in Google, this is what I would do. I don't know anything about a coin, but this is what I would do. I would then search halfpenny, 3 windows instead of 4. That would be my first search term, because that's what's happened, and see what comes up. Then I'd search halfpenny, 3 windows, halfpenny, 4 windows. Right, 1964. So I'd search halfpenny, 1964, 3 windows, and see what comes up. Now, if loads of them were made and therefore have been found over the years, then it won't be worth as much, because there'll be loads of them, and you'll find lots and lots of pages in your search results. If on the other hand, it's a rare thing, you won't find many pages in your search results. Do you see what I mean? And that is a clear-cut way of finding out whether something that you've never heard of before, that you've come across and have no idea of, that is just a logical way of finding out supply and demand. Apply the supply and demand to Google. Because if something is common, there's going to be loads and loads and loads and loads of pages. And if something isn't, there's not going to be many about that specific subject. So that's what I would do. You could be looking at something worth 20 quid. That's the trouble with errors. You honestly don't know, and you can't price it, because it depends how many were made in the first place. Get an error on a coin that they only produce 300,000 of, and you know you're talking about some serious money. It doesn't matter what phone you use, George. That's fine. I'm quite happy with that. It doesn't make any difference to me. You know, as long as you play the game and do it right. That's the important thing. Thank you, Logan. I didn't expect that. I love my Logan, I do. But yeah, always have a look first. You know what I mean? Always have a little look. Have a look on eBay. Don't take the price that it's advertised at. Look for it on eBay. And then, so I'd search on eBay 1964 free window. I might not even put halfpenny in. I just put 1964 free window, because people will write halfpenny differently. So you want to get all of them. And then I'd see what comes up in search results, and I'd look at who's got the lowest price and who's got the highest price, and what's the difference. If there's like, you know, £800 difference between the prices, then I'd look into it a bit more. Why is that bloke selling it for 800 quid, and why is that bloke selling it for 50? Do you know what I mean? And so I'd read the listings, understand what's in front of you, and then on the left hand side of your screen, on the menu, there's a thing there, and it says sold and completed. If you tick the sold one, your search results will change, and it will only show you the ones that have been sold and the prices they sold for. And that's another guide, because now you're actually seeing the prices that they're sold for. Hello, Simon. If you've only just joined us, Simon, watch this one from the beginning when you get off, because it explains a lot of the things that you've been asking questions of. All the questions that you've been asking in the group pretty much are explained in this vid. So you might want to watch it again from the beginning. And I even show you on my phone, you know, how I log in and out of the account, and how I log in and out of these accounts, how quick it is, and how I do the sharing. Now, if we get this up right, we start getting on to 1,000 shares a week. That's my target. My target is 1,000 shares a week. I want to see if I can get up to that. So that would be 40 comments, 40 divided by 1,000, 400 is 10, 400 is 20, and then we've got 20, so 800 and 4, 8, I don't even know what I was working out then. I've lost myself halfway through the adding up. It's like adding up a shopping list and forgetting what it was that you adding up. 1,000 shares divided by 40, isn't it? So 10, 20, 5. So 25 comments a week would mean that we've got 1,000 shares. So that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for the competition to be 25 comments going on that every week. And if we can hit 25 comments a week on that, we know we're getting 1,000 shares a week. And I think things will change for us almost overnight. When I say overnight, wow, I'm expecting by the end of this month, I might be getting some more deliveries again. That's how positive I am over this. And then we've got auctions that we're having every day for you to use these points in, and most of the stuff we have in the auctions you won't be able to get on the site for the obvious reason that I want you all excited over what you can buy in the auctions with the points that you can win by doing this sharing and the points that you can earn as your basic by doing this sharing. I want you all excited by that because it means you'll do more sharing. You know, and I don't think 1,000 is too way out there. I think that's well achievable with what we've got at the moment. I don't know how many we could. Does anybody know how many comments we've got on that video at the moment? I'm guessing 7 of mine, 8 of mine. I know one of them is Soundwave Man, that's 10. And I think we've got Rebecca on there, that's 11. And maybe Simon on there, 12. Does anybody know how many we've got on there? I'm guessing about 12. So 12 would be 500 shares. You see now, Chris has had a little look. Right, so Chris has had a little look, Judith, and he can't find any. So now, the thing to do now, I honestly think what you should be looking at doing, I have to refrain from saying should, what you could do, if you ever think about it, what you could do is send it off to the Royal Mint. I'd send it off special delivery. I think it's worth it. Send it off special delivery to the Mint so that you can get a letter back and you've got a letter of provenance to go with it. Because if you've got a letter of provenance on a rare coin, nice. Nice. Pardon me. I'm not on yet. I'm going to do what you said and do 60ish before I comment. I wouldn't go that far, Rebecca. Do about, you know, 20% is cool. So, you know, if you want to sort of have it in your own mind and you think, well, I can't be bothered to keep checking. I can't personally be bothered to keep going back and checking to see if somebody's deleted one, someone ain't deleted one, whatever. So if you keep 50 in mind, that's it. If you've gone 50 shares and some of them get deleted and not let through, that's fine. You know. Ian, there are 14 comments. Wow, 14 comments there are. And there's going to be 15 because I'm going to put another one on after the show. And then there's 4 that I'm not putting up. So 14, 15, that's 19. And how many did I say? 25. So 6 more comments and we would have done 25 shares, as it were. 25 times 40. You know. This is a proper little team, this is. Yeah, that's more reason straight away to send it off to the Royal Mint. We found one yesterday. So yesterday, Logan was sending off some Peter Rabbit 2019s in change checker packaging. Nothing special about them. Well, apart from the fact they're non-release ones, but nothing special. And as he's sending them off, he's noticed that one coin has got a dig out of the coin. But it's in their packaging. But he's noticed there's a dig out of the coin. and he showed it to me, and he said that that dig is not including the plastic. It hasn't been banged since it's been put in the plastic. That's happened earlier than that. So I said to him straight away, that goes off to the Royal Mint, because we haven't even opened the change checker packet. So, you know, if we get a letter back saying, yes, this was damaged during the minting process, I think that would turn that into a £200 coin. So that's why, you know, it's important. When you get down the rare stakes, you need that letter of provenance, because if you've got it, it then back up the value of, add value to the coin. On the one hand. On the other hand, someone could say, but how do I know that was the exact coin that you got the letter for? You've also got that problem as well. I reckon by the end of the month, Ian Glenn, we'll be getting between 30 and 50,000 hits on any post I choose to put up and get that kind of attention to. It's going to be very interesting. Going to make for some very interesting conversations. teespring.com/no288. So what else we got to tax my brain with? This is just such exciting times, this is. And in case you're wondering, I was supposed to get my teeth done today. They phoned me up yesterday. Just checking, Mr. Lambert, you coming down tomorrow? I said, yeah, I'm fine, I ain't got a cold, everything's all right, I'm there. Then this morning, they phoned me up and said, sorry, Mr. Lambert, we've got to cancel all the bookings again. Dentist ain't coming in today. So it keeps, this is about the fifth time now it's been cancelled and rebooked, so I'm got to go longer and longer and longer with that teeth. Still, never mind, eh? So are there any other questions at all surrounding this? Because this is a good time to have it, because then if we get all the questions sorted in this video, then you can, you know, if and when you want to know anything, you can come back to this video. That's a good idea. In actual fact, I think I've put something in the title so that you'll know which video it is, and then you'll be able to find it again, if you know what I mean. For those of you that don't know, have a little look at Bungle Collects, because he's doing a little something now where you can win all. I don't quite understand it because I haven't seen the video, but I do know he's doing something where you can win all the commemoratives in a bag of coins, or a load of commemoratives in a bag of coins on his live hunt. So it's worth having a look at. I also think we've got our. It's nearly ready for a trial. How long will it be before it's ready for a trial, Chris? We've got raffle site almost set up and ready for its first trial of having a go. We've still got these ones. They give a penny for the homeless. Look how many of them we've sold. So let's get the 250 of them sold so we can get one of these pulled out. And let's get all the 2p's for the Ostomates sold as well. I ain't got as many of these sold, but I would like some more sold. You've got points, use them. You never know, you might be the one, pardon me, that gets pulled out. So yeah, we will be, we have got a trial coming up, and I've got to check out from Chris to find out how we're getting on with that. I haven't got a link to give you yet. And that's it. I've run out of things to say, I think. Unless you ask me a question. I've run out of things to talk about. It's because my mind's racing with other stuff. I know John's downstairs. I've got things to talk about with John. So of course I've got that on my mind as well. Flat Earth. Flat Earth. So yeah, what is it all about this, you know, people that think the Earth's round? Where do you even get that from? Who told you that? You know, how do you even know? Well, how many of you have been up on a plane? Right, give me a thumbs up if you've been on a plane. You've been up there on a plane and you've looked out the window. Give me a thumbs up, right? Let's just see how many of you have been on a plane. Now, I've been on a plane and I've looked out the window. Right, so we've got, there's the link from Chris for our raffle site. You're going to have to go up and sign up separate. It's not joined to our Great British Coin Hunt site, so you can't use points and all that kind of thing because it's not conjoined in that way. There's no way of doing it. It's not that we're refusing to do it, it's just that there is no way of doing that, and it's going to be quite some time if that is even possible. So don't even be looking at that yet. But it gives us a way of raising a little bit of cash because it will be raffles, and we'll make sure that the prizes on that get better and better and better and better. You know. And so copy that link if you can, or open that up in a separate page and then keep it there so that when you come off the stream you can go over there and join. But please go over there and join, and please have a go on the raffles that are there because we want to test this out. And the raffles here will have, even though we'll put it up for a price and the number of tickets, etc., there'll also be a countdown timer. So if there ain't enough tickets sold, it's still going to draw it anyway. That's the way I understand it. You know, so get over there and have a go on that for us, and join in with that. That would be great. The money goes through. It will accept PayPal, and it will go through to somebody else, and then they will sort it out with us, send it to our bank account. So that's all right. Okay, so please go over there and join that, and maybe tell people about it. You know, that would be great. And maybe we'll come up with a post for that we can also share. And then maybe when we get to the point where we can do 1,000 shares in a week, now it's worthwhile having a bigger raffle with like 1,000 or 5,000 tickets, because now we can get that shared. Get lots of people in, see? You can fly all around the world with a spirit level and the bubble will not move on a level. You see? These things have got to tell you things. When you look out of a plane, you don't see, you don't see a ball. You don't see things going like that, do you? As you're flying along and around, you just see flat. It's all flat. It just goes on forever. It's just all flat. That's it. Well, when you look at a plane sound wave, man, you don't see that, do you? You see that? And as Angela says, no matter where you fly, the spirit level's straight. You know, whereas at some point it should be going like that, shouldn't it? But it don't. It flies like that for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Go to Australia, it flies like that for 20 hours. It doesn't come along and go flying like that and go around there, does it? It goes and then it comes into land. See? So you want to tell all your friends, tune in on a Monday to Friday. Come and have a chat with Ian and Butch when he's here. And talk about all these serious issues that Uncle Ian sorts out for you. Yes, I see, Angela. Not as predictable as we think. And tell all your friends, you see, you want to fix the world, come here. You're going to fix it. Come here. I'm an Aries, so I fix things. So come see me and I'll tell you how to sort it out. NHS, world peace, you know, the Far East, Palestinian problem, so easy to sort out. Do you know what I mean? Politics, easy peasy. You could go in there and just go, look, this is where it's going to be from now on. You're going to do that, you're going to do that, and you're going to do that. Off you go. Do you know what I mean? Sort them out, that's what I say. And on that note, it might be even time to go if you don't want me anymore. How many people we got? We've got 22 people in. Two people that have got nothing to do. I don't know. Or as someone said, you got that many people watching you, you got that many people got no life. Is that a compliment, backhanded one, or an insult? I can't work it out. So yeah, so we've got this site up and running now, and we need a little bit of support on that. We want you all to go along and join that, and then we can mess about with some raffles. They probably won't be priced at less than £1 over there, and the reason for that is, what did I just say? Right, where? Funny that you say something, goes straight out your head. It's like walking into a room and forgetting what you went in there for, going into the fridge and then forgetting what I went there for. Now I completely forgot what I was saying. It was only like 3 words ago. How strange. One of you will tell me if you were paying any attention. Are you in the present? Are you in the present? You listening? Or are you reading a book, watching TV? Which you'll know what I got up to. One of the MPs in Parliament tested for coronavirus. Ooh. And still no hospitals being sorted. They'll wait till like 20,000 people have got it, and then they'll go, oh, I think we need to have a couple of hospitals. Which I think is a little bit silly. Why you can't buy tickets under £1? Thank you, Lorna. So you can't buy tickets under £1 because with PayPal payments, they have a minimum 27p, or it used to be 27p, might even be more now. So that meant that even though their commission is like 5% or whatever it is, it depends on the size of the order, could be 2%, could be 5%, but on a £1 transaction or a 99p transaction, they take 27p. So you can't have like, so that's more than 25%. If you had a 50p transaction, they'd be taking 27p, which is more than 50%. See, because they have a minimum of a minimum transactional value. So every time you buy a ticket for £1, if you spend 10 quid, then it's not costing us £2.50 because you've spent a bit more. But if you go on and just spend £1 and then come off and you only buy 1 ticket for £1, then that will cost us about 27% in PayPal fees. But if you buy more than £1 worth of tickets, then obviously the cost comes down. It's not 27% even when you spend a tenner, that would be £2.70. It's just that their minimum is that. So you have to, so basically when you offer the lower price ones, you lose out a little bit. So I'm just explaining that to you. And that's why you can't do less than £1. That's why we can't have tickets on there for like 25p, like we could on our account, because there's no transactional charge for points. There's no charge for that. There's no charge from anybody. Well, there is a charge. The charge is from Swell, but we don't pass that charge on to you. Showman of the week, Chris Dyer. Make sure you give Chris a little sub to his channel. Can set one. we'll try it as it is for now, so that we're not confusing people too much, and then we'll see how it goes. You know, I mean, if everybody goes on and just buys one ticket at a time and spends £1 and comes off, then we might have a bit of an issue. But you see, on the whole, people don't generally do that. Sometimes that'll happen, but not always. And as long as I build that into the raffle itself, the costing wise, as long as I build that into it, then we should be all right. So it'd be really cool to test that out and get our first. We've got 2, so it'd be really cool to test that out and get the first two drawn, so we can get some idea of where it's going to go, you know. And then we'll try and make a post and see if we can't share that post around as well. Just in one day, the idea I was telling you about with the remember I was telling you, when you make a post and you get lots and lots of interest and you can invite. My personal fan page, it's only been up a month. It's always been up, something like that, and it's already got, we've picked up 200 members this week alone. On our Great British Coin Hunt page, we've picked up several hundred, a couple of hundred new members, all from getting that invite link. So that works. See you later, Soundwave Man. So there we go. So that works as well. So we've covered that. Don't forget Chris Dyer Channel of the Week as well. And time for me to go. And let's just send old Butch a bit of love, right? Because I know he's going to watch the stream later on when he wakes up, and it'll be nice for him. You know, he's done a lot of work for us and everything. So, you know, a little thumbs up, maybe a little love heart, maybe a little kiss, maybe a little hug thing for Butch. But if you put on there, sending Butch some love, he will get to see it. Because he will see it later on today when he watches the stream. So he will appreciate it very, very much if you put a little something in there and say to him, get well soon. Because we miss him. We miss you loads, Butch. We miss you loads. I feel like I've got, like, you know, a limb missing on the show. And we've only been doing the show together for, what, a couple of months. And when he's not here, I already feel like there's a bit of me missing. Like Richard without Judy. It is a bit like Richard without Judy. And so there we go. So a little bit of love going to you, Butch, and we'll see you whenever you're ready. You just take as much time as you need. And if you're not, you know, if you haven't contacted me by sort of, well, obviously, if you haven't contacted me by 11 o'clock, then I know you're still off, so you don't have to worry about telling me. So you take as much time as you need, and we'll just do this every day. Yeah, it's like Laurel without Hardy, isn't it? Abbott without Costello. So, yeah, now we've done all the lovey-dovey bit, you know, at the same time, don't take the Michael and pretend to be ill and, you know, oh, I'm ill, I've got the virus. Don't start any of that business. We're expecting to see you back soon, right? You get all the time you need to recover. Just don't take too long. And on that note, we'll call it a day. Thanks very much, everybody. I hope that's all right. I hope the stream was all right. If you've got any questions on the VIP, come over, talk to me. I'll see the question. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Yeah, take time, Butch, but hurry up. Right. So we'll see you all tomorrow, and let's see how many more comments we can get on this video. Let's see if we can get this video up to 25 comments. That would be mental. Then we can start coordinating. I reckon next week once you guys have started working out where you are and what your limits are and everything else, I reckon next week we can start properly coordinating certain posts. Boom. So that'll be great. And another one to do will be when you see the next coronavirus live on my Facebook, not on the YouTube, but on my Facebook. When you see the next coronavirus live on my Facebook, start sharing that one, because that gets a lot of people in. So start sharing that one. It's not added to the list because the link for that will change every day, because on Facebook you can only have 8 hours streaming maximum and then it stops. And then Butch has to notice it stopped and then he restarts it. So then it's a fresh post with a fresh link. So it's just easier to say whatever the coronavirus live is, it's the one that's live, current live, whatever one that is on my Facebook page is also part of the list. So you can add that to the list, and it gives you a different link to share as well, you know. So you can add that to the list as well and share that one, whatever one it is, on the day. Got me? All right then, thanks very much everybody. It's been great. It's been a blast. I can't believe some of you are still here, but there you go. We'll catch up tomorrow. Nice one. Thank you. Bye-bye.